Hello again, everybody. It's Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here at NJHorrorCon and Film Festival at the Showboat in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I have the distinct pleasure of standing here with the star of a couple of iconic films, Adventures in Babysitting, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Mr. Keith Coogan. Keith, how are you?
Very good. Thank you so much. Hi, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yep. How's the show been for you so far?
Oh, my God. So great. Very fun. Maybe I'm qualified for a horror con because Dead is in the title of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. I did do a Tales from the Crypt, but it's more of a pop culture kind of a thing. An 80s kind of a thing, if you, because a lot of the strong horror I grew up with.
We got the Goonies here, right?
I know, we got the Goonies. Was the Halloween, and because I was, I think, 8 when Halloween came out. I was 10 when Friday the 13th came out, and grew up with Freddy and Jason and Michael and horrors. My mom was an usher in a movie theater when I was very young, 1-2 years old, but I was a well-behaved kid. She'd plop me down in the front row for A Clockwork Orange and The Shining and The Exorcist. So I watched great thrillers, horrors. My favorite's Body Modification. Why is that missing? That's not supposed to be there? What's this growing out of this? For some reason, that just horror, like The Fly and that kind of body morphing stuff. I love good, good.
Body horror is a good genre. It's a good genre.
Scariest movie I ever saw was Miike's Imprint.
Masters of Horror. Yep.
Need I say more? If you've seen it. And I am not squeamish, and I can usually watch anything. And I always laugh at my wife covering her eyes or telling me, my wife will go, tell me when I can look again, for like mild R-rated stuff. I could not watch Imprint without looking away. I go, tell me when that thing's over. Probably one of the most intense storytelling experiences. Drago was amazing in it. Probably his, one of the really most solid work, because he's the storyteller entrance to this world that just instantly takes you to another place and then horrifies you. And it's about telling a story within a story, chasing this kind of legendary evil. Love it.
That is a good one. I do a lot of horror movie nights at my house, and that movie caused 4 people to get up, get in their cars, leave, and I never heard from them again, other than for them to say, what is wrong with you? So I'm with you, brother, on that movie. Good stuff.
The musical equivalent would be Sleep, Dope Smoker. It's an hour-long track, and it clears a room faster than you've seen. And you put that thing on, people just leave your house. It's great. Unless you're into that kind of thing.
Hey, listen, some
it's a really good track. Look it up. Sleep, Dope Smoker. And also Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats. Mind Control. That album's fantastic. It's very horror. I think it's mostly about the Manson family. Great album.
Look out for those.
One of my records, I had LPs growing up, was Sounds of the Haunted House from Disney. And it had you're going through a haunted mansion, the story of it, but it also had just sound effects, chains dragging, thunderstorms, women screaming, wolves howling. And so that kind of builds that, imagination. Soundtracks themselves can be absolutely horrifying.
Well, that is true. They can. A great soundtrack can make a mediocre movie good, I've always said.
Oh, yeah. It brings energy into it and can add to the story. Sometimes it's a little too on the nose. The first Suicide Squad movie, I'm looking at you.
So, Keith, I saw your shirt earlier today. Dishes are done, man. Did you ever think that, just like a line like that from a comedy would stand the test of time, and that people still know you for that one line from the movie?
No, absolutely not. You never know. There's so much great dialogue in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. So many lines. I'll post something about in the movie or a picture about it, and people just start quoting. Take it back. It's a chip. Take it back. Diamonds are forever. I mean, Cynthia, you're my moon goddess. I just met somebody who has a company named Moon Goddess, and he's like, I named it after Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. We've had friends we've met with, clown dog tattoos, and it's neat that, people have appreciated it. It's like it's a kind of a deep cut,
Sure.
It wasn't a $100 million movie, but it did make its money.
And but things like that are what become cult classics, right? And then however many years later, people are still talking about them, and we love them,
Yeah, I totally appreciate it. 30 years for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Time is a funny thing, isn't it? Like, I hear you say that, and I'm like, no, that can't be. But yeah, I'm a child of the 80s, so I love all these movies. I grew up with them.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's a thrill for me to get to meet you and people involved with the movies. You still stay in touch with a lot of the cast from the movies you worked on?
You do, and it's funny, when I was because I was a child actor. I started when I was 5 or 6. I've union since 1976, and I was a little old man at 8 years old. They're like, you're 8 going on 40. And my family was in the industry. My grandfather was Jackie Coogan from Charlie Chaplin's The Kid, and the lady who was the original Uncle Fester on The Addams Family. And my great-grandparents were in vaudeville. We're show folk, And so there was when I did Toy Soldiers, and I love George Perez, we were wrapping up, and we'd all become friends on the movie, and I'd known Will Wheaton and Sean Astin prior to making the movie. We'd already been friends. And George goes, so we're going to hang out afterwards and stuff. And he told me this years later, because we do now talk, but at the time, I said, probably not. And he goes, what? He says that I told him, you're going to get another job, and then I'm going to get a movie. You're going to be in a different city. I'm going to be living here. And from my own experience, I told him it was unlikely we'd really see each other much after that. And the press tour and the movie comes out, we're all going to move. And he was like kind of disappointed, but he goes, I was right. And it's sad. You build this really quick family. This is the thing, though, it would take about 3 months to make a movie with auditioning and rehearsals and shooting, and then it comes out maybe 6 months after you make it, and it's very intense for a very short period of time, and so it does create like a family situation, because there's rough situations and time and pressure and money. You're just trying to make a movie.
Sure.
Sure. So as much as I can with cast members that are in the city and on this coast. Everybody asks that. They're always like, do you ever talk to Elizabeth Shue? No, I haven't seen Elizabeth Shue in decades.
All right. Well, it's very interesting stuff. What are you working on these days? What have you got going on currently?
Great question. I just hooked up with the Leandro boys for On Our Own. It is a series. These poor guys, their parents, that they live with, moved to Florida, so now they got to live on their own. Some Jersey boys.
Cool.
And I'm a divorce attorney. That's Brian O'Halloran's in that as well. Ernie O'Donnell. We got Wrong Reasons, directed by Josh Roush, and that's starring Harley Quinn and Ralph Garman, and it is and Liv Roush, and it is a starlet rocker, that gets kidnapped by a fan that wants to stop her from self-abuse and going down the wrong path, and he knows it's not going to end well for him in the long run, but it becomes this huge media kind of event, and I play a very perfunctious newscaster, investigative reporter who's kind of an asshole. I don't know. Are we PG? Are we? Huh? Are we PG?
It's all good, man.
Okay, it's all good.
We're all grown-ups here.
I love playing jerks. I love playing jerks.
They're always more interesting, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The villains and the jerks are always more interesting.
William Atherton,
right?
Greatest jerk.
Right.
They're like Die Hard, jerk. They're like,
right.
Name the
Ghostbusters,
thing jerk.
Right?
Totally.
Very fun, man. Listen, Keith, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure speaking with you, spending some time. I wish you nothing but success in your upcoming projects and the rest of the weekend here at the convention.
Thanks, man. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks
Keith
for watching.
Coogan, everybody, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm the horror nerd, Todd Staruch, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.
I'm just a regular nerd. Rock and roll.